Judaism is a culture. It's a shared set of traditions. It's a history. It's a language.
When our grandparents were alive and they came from Europe, they had such a deep devotion to tradition and a love of Judaism, and it was in their eyes, and they brought it with them to synagogue. They brought it with them to our holiday table. They were immersed in it in Europe. They lived it every day. And when my husband's grandfather died many years ago, that was missing in our family.
It's a job they didn't ask for, and it's a job they probably don't want, honestly. But this is the last generation that's going to meet survivors of the Holocaust. They are going to have to be the representatives in the future to this generation.
My fear was that if we didn't choose a day school education, that Judaism would simply become a poorly attended extracurricular activity.
As a community, we need to invest in that Jewish identity to ensure Jewish continuity.
You know, your child is going to go out into the real world eventually. That's unavoidable. And the Jewish world is actually shrinking. So the real world is getting closer and closer all the time.
Jewish identity in our multicultural society is simply not inevitable.
It's something that only through education and only through the investment in that knowledge that could carry us on.
In looking back at my time at SCHECHTER, I have realized that life is one long journey with different paths leading to the point of self-discovery.
The only way I can think of to tell you about my experience at SCHECHTER is to share with you part of my Israel trip.
We are just one class. My class is just one wildflower in SCHECHTER's garden.
I entered as a shy, innocent, unknowing child, and I'm coming out at the other end as a confident, mature, strong young woman.
During my journey at SCHECHTER, my confidence and self-assurance have soared tremendously.
This is a school that enables our children to express their Jewishness, to learn about their Jewish history and their traditions and their culture.
I think what makes us truly unique is our history and our history of experience and our accomplishments. We know and we track our academic excellence. We know our children perform well. We are a dual curriculum school who offers a rigorous and yet challenging academic core. But most importantly, we blend this seamlessly through the integration of Jewish value and Jewish thought and independence of thinking and critical thinking.
We have high expectations. We have the support to help them get there, but we expect a lot of each other. We expect a lot. Each child expects a lot of themselves. We expect a lot of the teachers, and we support those expectations. We don't just say, do well, see you in a week, hope it turns out okay. We say we expect you to do well, and here's how we're going to help you get to well. We're gonna go on that path with you, and we're gonna make sure you get from beginning to doing well, in a guided, thoughtful, intelligent sort of way.
Somebody asked about vinegar, and I'll tell you.
Well, I remember coming to the school over 7 years ago, looking at the school for the first time, going into the classrooms. I could tell that this was a school of academic excellence. I saw what the kids were doing. I looked at the curriculum, and being a teacher, I knew that this was a very special place. And I also knew that I could go to another school and get a wonderful education. But it was the other things that I saw going on in the school that really captured me and my husband and drew us in. And that was walking through the halls and listening to the kids speaking Hebrew, going in and watching the kids pray during tefillah time, hearing the songs. That was so special to us.
I wanted my kids to learn to love their Judaism, to choose to have a Jewish identity and live a Jewish life. But that's vital to our community. And SCHECHTER is the best place, key vital element to Jewish continuity for our Jewish community. There's no better way than a Jewish day school education to get people to learn to love Judaism, to live a Jewish life, and to get back to the Jewish community.
Each child is an independent individual with different challenges and different strengths, And our goal is to find the success with every child based on their own abilities and their own levels. So our curriculum addresses this. We have some ability grouping that helps children to flourish at the area where they are. And I think that as we look at teaching methodology, we have really focused on differentiation, making sure that as we teach, we really reach children.
My daughter Shira studies mathematical concepts. She has spelling tests every week, but not only in one language. She has a spelling test in Hebrew and she has a spelling test in English.
We're learning about what it is to be a Jew, to know the history, to know our tradition, to know how to study in depth Torah as much as we study in depth algebra. It is that beautiful blend of foundation from Judaics, secular academics that help our children to really flourish as accomplished, independent, critical thinkers.
Our children get to live Jewish concepts on a daily basis. They get to live the concepts of tzedakah, of gemilut chasadim, of chesed, of tikkun olam. It's a warm feeling to be able to see children live the values that we want them to develop.
You walk down the halls and you see what's in the hallways, that the children are expressing themselves academically, they're expressing themselves artistically, but they're also expressing their Jewish selves. And it's on the walls, it's in the classrooms, it's in their conversations. It's about saving the world, each one of them individually and also as part of the larger society.
Bringing all of the things that they're learning about the Jewish holidays and Shabbat into our homes has made the experience so unbelievable. Our Shabbat tables are so special, talking about the weekly Torah portion, singing the prayers together as a family. I keep saying that our Passover Seders are getting longer and longer because they keep bringing more and more to the table in discussion and in songs. And it's been fun. It's been a wonderful journey to learn through our kids. But they're not only doing all of this every day, they're studying circuits in science. They're running a mile. They're doing beautiful art projects and learning the latest technologies in computers. They're reading beautiful literature. They're studying how to multiply and divide. And they're doing this all in a day, and they're doing it every day. And this is a package of education that you can't find anywhere else.
We are imbuing our kids with a firm, solid base of who they are and what they stand for and what they believe in, so that when they get out into the bigger world as adults, that they're standing on a firm footing.
SSDS has become a part of me and of who I am.
This is what symbolizes me in the Schechter world.
During my journey at Schechter, my confidence and self-assurance have soared tremendously.
The students are wanting to learn and they want to be challenged, and that makes my job exciting, is when they want to know more than what I'm just teaching. In fact, my 8th grade students right now, I'm teaching them chemistry, and I have to end at 10 to 3 so they're not late to their next class. Sometimes I can't get them out of there until 5 to 3 or 3 o'clock, so they're running late for their next class, because they continually want to know more and more and more.
The academic excellence of a Schechter education, as they walk into either private high school or a public high school, all the kids will succeed in that environment with this strong foundation, critical thinking skills to enable them to achieve high-level success, honors classes and beyond, and then move on to quality colleges and universities.
Giving this gift to children, K through 8, and all the way through 8 and beyond as much as possible, is what really integrates their values and their foundation as they continue on into adulthood.
To see the kids interacting in all the ways that they get to be themselves as part of this larger community, it's unique here. It's really special.
We see on a daily basis the wonderful things that our 2nd grader brings home, that she's learning in school. But beyond that, I can see the developmental pathway. I can see the 8th grade graduates and see what self-confident, wonderful young adults they are. And these are the role models that I want my daughter to choose for herself.
When they are on their own, they have the knowledge, They have the know-how to walk into any synagogue, any temple around the world and be able to participate in services.
By sending our kids to Solomon Schechter Day School, we now see that love and devotion in their eyes, just like their grandparents had. And we feel that we've reclaimed that heritage.
They're some of the best students that I've ever taught.
It's the highlight of a day to come here to see these children and to walk the halls. It's a warm, fuzzy place.
They're our next generation of leaders.
It's not just our kids are getting this education, but it's flowing into our family.
I've attended probably 8 graduations, and only last year did I have one of my own children graduating. But each of those kids to get up and speak about their heart, about their experience, and brings tears to me, and they're not even my kids. So to see my daughter and her group of friends stand up and share what Schechter's meant to them, and to thank their parents, to thank the Schechter community for giving them that opportunity to be here. It's just a very powerful experience.
I think giving my children the gift of Jewish identity is probably the most precious gift I can give them as a parent.
I know that this journey at Solomon Schechter is not over. I am simply just turning onto a new path. While one piece of my journey ends now, another begins,